Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I have some absolutely beautiful things to show you from Spellbinders. This is all part of the Bayfair by Rosie Studios collection. I have some of it here, and then there's some more as well. So this is the nested postage labels and tags etched dies, and you can see there that we've got, this fits the Platinum and Platinum 6. It's actually a very good size for a lot of your die cutting machines. And you've got some postage stamp size ones here, and then some little dashed edge ones here, and a full collection of those. I've already gone ahead and cut one out, and that is the most beautiful shape. You could use that for a card front, or you could use it for layers. And then you've got this lovely one here as well, in different sizes right down through that. So I'll be showing you some of those and some ideas with those in a minute or two. But I absolutely love this big die here that goes along with it. This is called the Floral Spray, and here's just a little idea of some of the things you can do with that. Well, if you know me, you know I absolutely love everything floral, so I'm going to have a real lot of fun with that one. You can keep these quite flat like that. I think they look kind of folk art type of thing. There's 24 dies there in total, but you could definitely mold them and shape them and give them a little three-dimensional look as well. So I'm looking forward to trying some of those. I haven't even used them yet. We've also got these, probably I should have said this along with the dies here, but we've got a full set of numbers, and then we've got some little monetary symbols, is that what you'd call them, as well to go along with those. So values for your postage stamps or anything else. Actually, you could use them for ages on your cards as well. I have also got this beautiful 6x6 paper pad that goes along with this, and these are absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to make some A2 size cards along with this, and this is absolutely perfect size because I'll be able to use this for layering. I'll be able to use it for all sorts of things, cutting the little shapes out of as well. And some of that is foiled, so there are 40 sheets and 20 designs, and 6 of them are foiled as well. It's really, really beautiful. I will have my affiliate links to all of this down below in the description of the video, but this is actually only part of a full collection, and I'll put the link to that as well, because there's also a matching scrapbook kit, a matching card maker's kit, 12 by 12 card, 12 by 12 designer paper, that's 20 sheets of that, then this 6x6 pad as I said before. There's also ephemera, embellishments, puffy stickers, and lovely little dragonfly stickers as well. So have a look at all of those, and don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really, really love you to do that and hit the notification bell and keep up to date with lots of these things, as I make lots of videos and I'll be enjoying myself, and I hope you enjoy watching too. If you do enjoy, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment. I always love to hear from you as well. So I am going to do some die cutting, and I'll be right back, and I hope you enjoy what I'm going to make. I've taken the beautiful little dashed edge die and cut that lovely green striped paper out from there, and I'm going to put that directly onto the card, and then I'm going to put one of the nested postage labels on top of that, and it's a really, really fresh combination. So I'm just going to put that there directly on like that, and then here's my little label on here. So I'm going to put this one on at an angle, and I'm going to add some of the flowers on top. Now I do want to add some dimension onto these flowers, but just for this card I want to keep them quite flat. So I've cut out the large one in the sort of maroony colour. That's this big die, and then the one that's exactly the same shape except smaller, I've cut that out twice in yellow, and one of these then I'm going to glue just directly on top of the maroony coloured one. And I've cut the little dots. You actually get a little die there that has lots of little dots in it, and you can cut those out just at the same time. Just run it straight through your die cutting machine at the same time, and there you are. And I want that to just come off this a little bit, so I've got my tweezers here, and I'm going to add a little stem. So you'll see all of these little dies here, and they are the stems, and you'll find a little piece up at the top of them, just where you'll know that's where you add your little flower on. So I am going to pop that one on first. Obviously the stems have got to go on before the flower, so I will pop that one on just about there. Now I've got another little stem here and I want to pop that overlapping this a bit. So I want sort of this combination, and I don't really want that, well, probably about there. So I'll move this around a little bit until I get that angle there. It's obviously not going to go directly on here, but I do want the stem to sort of look at that angle, and I'll pop the green right on there. We're going about this direction, I think. I like this kind of little overlap, and then the leaves look good on top of that. But you want to make sure that this stem heads into the center of the flower. You know, you can't actually just pop that on at any silly sort of place like this. It's got to go into the center to look kind of realistic, because that's where a stem comes from. So let's pop that just about there, and we'll bring that one up over the top. You can see here that I really only put glue in the center of these, so you can actually just bring them up. I'm really not going to add too much dimension to this one, keeping it quite flat, but you can just hold them down in the center and add just a little bit by flicking the edges up like that, either with your tweezers or just with your fingers. And the same applies with this one if you don't want the fully flat card. There we are. So I have got these beautiful leaves. I love the shape of those ones. I'm going to add one on here onto this stem. I might actually just trim a little bit off the bottom there. I think I'll take a little bit off and put that on there, and then I'm going to do the same with this one and add it on up here, just a little bit off there. I've taken this little die and I've cut it out with some green card, and then I've taken this, and this one has actually given me lots of these little shapes here. Can you just see that one? And then I have glued those directly on top of the green from this one. So I'm actually going to just nip some of these off, I think, just down here. I don't want the full array of them up here at the moment, and that's going to go in there. So I'll glue that on, and then I might add some of the others on afterwards as well. I've taken this lovely little stamp set from the A Little Hello Sentiments, and that's one of Lisa Horton's set, and I have stamped that out, and I've actually never used a die and stamp set like this before, and I do really love it. I've stamped it out, and this is the die, and you just pop that on top, and look, it cuts them all out together. I just love that idea. So I'm going to cut that out now, and then I'll decide which one of those I want to use for my little card. So I've chosen my dear friend, and I've got little 3D foam pads on the back of that, and I'm going to pop it on right there. And it's easy enough to line up. You can sort of keep it in line with all the stripes on the card. That nice? I've got everything ready now for a 5x7 card, and I have die cut the largest postage label from the beautiful paper from that Bayfair 6x6 pad. It's a really lovely blue and dark blue and light blue pattern on it. So I've just put that straight on there, and then I've taken two of the sort of dotty edged dies. So that would be this second one in here, and then the next size of that one. So it's these two together, and I've actually taped them together and run them through the die cutting machine, and I've got this beautiful little frame here, and I want to put that on, but I would actually like that on at a bit of an angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that, and then I have got another little postage label to put in the center, and it's going to be in white this time. I want to put hello up here and how are you down here. So the hello is actually from the Lisa Horton set here, and I've die cut the wording in white, and then I've cut the little background, just one of them this time, in this beautiful blue here. And I'm going to put that on there first of all because I actually want the flowers to make sure they fit in around that, and then the how are you can actually go on afterwards, but this hello is going to go up at the top there, and the how are you bit is actually well, it's optional. I actually will just wait and see that I've actually got plenty of room for it, because I might have to leave that out, but that's where I want that to go. So obviously this is straight across, this is parallel to that, and then this is parallel to that. So the only angled thing then is that yellow. So there's the wording there, and pardon me, the die for that is there as well. And I want to make a little flower just like this one out of the die that cuts the big flower. So you can see there I've cut it out and used it this way, but this time I would just want to make something slightly different with it. So I am just going to cut right across. There's my little scissors. I'm going to cut right across here, so I'm going to have 3 pieces, 3 petals up there, and I'm going to have 2 here, and I'm just rounding that little bit off there. So you can see here that I have one on, and then this other one, instead of being this way, I turn it around and I'm going to glue it on there, but I want a little bit of dimension on it as well. So I'm just going to mold it up slightly here and put a little 3D foam pad in there just to make sure that it sits up nicely and doesn't fall back down flat again. Now I've got this little bit, and I'm just going to put it on here, and when I get that on, there's just a little bit at the side that I need to fold back just to make sure that those petals actually fit in this and look like they belong there. So you can see there, when that goes just on like that, this little bit of the petal here can get folded upwards, and that way it all looks like it belongs perfectly. So just fold that little bottom piece in and tuck it in behind the bit that sits up. So there's the little flower, and now all I need to do is put a little stem onto it. So I want to be sure, saying I've got one going this way, that the other one goes the opposite direction, and I will glue that up in there, just making sure that this piece comes right out of the center there. I've glued these on then, and made them so that they come joining in together there, and I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of the leaves and add those in, just one covering this join in the stem there, and the other one going from the other side. And now I'm just going to glue the "How are you" right along the bottom there. I actually had some little buds made to go along with that, but I've decided that I don't need them. So this needs to be parallel to the bottom of the postage label there, which means then that it sort of ties in with everything else the whole way down the card, parallel to this, this, and then this. Those were the little buds that I had, but I think it's too much just to put it up there, and I don't really want them anywhere else, but that would have tied in. I'll keep those, and they'll do another card. For my next card then, I've taken another A2 card, and I have glued the postage stamp die cut directly on top, so that's a white one, and then I've used the sort of square edge with the little dot holes on it directly on top of that, with some beautiful patterned paper from the pad, and then a smaller postage layer on top of that. And this time I have layered up a little flower, and it's got, the background is exactly the same die that I've used for this one and this one, but then I've taken the rounded dies here, that's those two, and I've sort of layered them up a little bit like this, and add a little pink flower and a little white dot in the center, sorry, a little yellow dot into the center. And I want this card to be a little simpler, with not so much floral detail on it, but I am going to put that on there. Now I don't want that to get lost up in that sort of pinky area there, so it's going to come right down here into the white area, the white space. So this would need to go right up on there first of all. So glue here and right down. I could actually just cut a bit off the top of it, it wouldn't really matter, but there's where I'm going to pop it there. And then this one will get glued right up at the top. And because we're going for the simpler look this time, I don't really want to add too many more flowers onto that. So I have got lots of leaf options here, and I think I'm going to go for this lovely little one here. So you know that I use that as the sort of top, the sepal part of the flower here. This time I'm going to use it as little leaves, and I'm going to pop it right on there. and then the sentiment can go across the bottom of the stem here. So that one will go just there, and then I'm going to put Miss You Lots right across there. It's a very, very simple little card, but it's very, very effective as well. Well, I had decided that was finished, but I saw these little buds and I think they actually would be really, really nice up at the top here. So that's the full piece that looked like this, and I had cut it into two and added the little pieces on top, and I'm going to add those up at the top of the little flower there, just for a little extra detail. I really, really, really wanted to use that beautiful patterned paper there, and I wanted a lot of white with it. So I hummed and hawed a little bit, and I've cut a little panel with the dotted edge right around it and put it on top of my card, and I really didn't want to cover too much of it up. So I've taken a 1.5 inch strip of white card, and I have punched the top of it with this fantastic big punch here, and I've punched the bottom of it with this one, and that has given me this beautiful shape here. And I have layered that onto the card with 3D foam pads and added a little bit of ribbon up at the top there. So you can see here then that I've taken the big flower again, and I'm going to, I think I'll put it down here, because this big flower here on the patterned paper behind it, you know, it kind of looks a bit as if it needs balanced. So I'm going to pop this on here, and then we'll add some other bits and pieces after that. But this will be the sort of focal point for that tag, and we can work from there. I went ahead then with lots of the flowers and built this up, and I used a little postage stamp in here, and I cut the £1 with this and this together and put that on that little postage stamp up there. Now obviously, because of all the pattern going on in the background, I didn't want to cover this white up completely. I wanted to leave that shape showing just a bit, so it's just as kind of a hint of a tag there, but you can see the dimension on it. So now I have got the little sentiment that I want to put on. It says "From me to you," and it's another one of those little stamps that then I can cut, that I've cut out with the little matching die. So it's from this little set, and that is going right across there on 3D foam pads, just to add a little bit more dimension onto that. So that's me for now. That's all I'm going to do right at the moment, but obviously there's loads and loads of ideas. I love the way you can use those flowers just sort of flat like that with no dimension. You can layer them up. You can layer them up and add a little bit of dimension like that. And this is sort of in between the two. I absolutely love the way you can cut them and make a completely different flower from it too. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And if you have, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment down below and let me know which one is your favourite out of them all, and if you like them at all. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, to do that and hit the notification bell. And again, my affiliate links for everything I've used will be down below in the description of the video. And thank you to everybody who uses those. I do really, really appreciate it. And in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye.